After Alexander the Great is perhaps Napoleon Bonaparte the most charismatic and famous general of all times, and he is after Caesar who held Europe for more than a decade. He is said to possess a far-ranging intellect so that he could recall soldiers' records and campaign details for years. His will was an iron one, and beside that, he could muster a tremendous energy to work around 20-hour day executing different tasks, including dictating to 4 secretaries at once. He observed and seized the French people liberté, égalité, and fraternité inspiration. In his remarkable military career, Napoleon led 2 million Frenchmen into around 60 battles. After his defeat in Waterloo, he was taken to exile to St. Helena, where he died May 5, 1821. A day after his death, an autopsy was performed which revealed a stomach perforation caused by an ulcer, probably cancerous. From then on, several theories had been handed down, suspecting conspiracy. Some theorists hold that Napoleon was poisoned by British and French loyalists, and as a centerpiece of their theory, they present the analysis performed by Pascal Kintz, a renowned French toxicologist at the Legal Medicine Institute at Strasbourg. This analysis is nothing else than a sophisticated technique that is called non-secondary ion mass spectrometry. The test was applied to a Napoleon hair sample, which confirmed a long-term exposure to arsenic. But what is arsenic? This element found in the periodic table with 33 as an atomic number is so lethal, which has been used as a poison through history. During the Renaissance was the poison of choice the family Borgia had in Italy. Since arsenic is odorless, tasteless, and colorless, was difficult to detect. Rodrigo Borgia, the Pope Alexander VI, gave power to bishops and cardinals to grow rich. When this happened, he invited them to Paris, to palace, administer arsenic in wine to dispatch them. Then, by law, all their belongings had to go to the Holy See. A tenth of an ounce ingested. Peculiarities of poison are followed, that is, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, low blood pressure, and consequently death is next. Hippocrates, ancient physician, used arsenic to treat ulcers. Did this work? The history tells us it did. In addition, in 1786, arsenic became an ingredient in the famous Fowler solution, which was used for more than 150 years to treat from asthma to cancer. And in 1910, a compound with arsenic became an effective cure against syphilis, just before being replaced by penicillin. Arsenic compounds are still used to treat African sleeping sickness in the first stage with pentamidine or suramine, and in the second stage with chlornethine. Nowadays, arsenic compounds are used to counteract leukemia and other types of cancers. It is also used in chemotherapy. Here we fall into apparent contradiction because we have already seen that arsenic is a lethal poison. However, it is a miraculous remedy. Actually, it is not a contradiction based in an old saying that everything in excess is dangerous. Paracelsus, a 16th century German Swiss physician, said, All substances are poisons. There is none that is not poison. The right dose differentiates poison and a remedy. Philosophers used to say even love in excess is dangerous. The right dose is the best. If you take too much water, for example, you will suffer of hyponatremia, which consists of a dilution of the blood salt content, which damages the heart, the brain, and disrupts the muscle function. Too much vitamins, another example, avitaminosis follows, and your liver and kidneys will suffer the consequences. Lately, we can't live without oxygen because it is perhaps the first element to be ingested when we come to this world. And also, oxygen results to be poisonous for humanity. Inside our bodies, oxygen combines with food to produce energy. However, our bodies produce certain oxygen radicals, that is, atoms with an extra electron that cause a significant damage to DNA, biomolecules, proteins, and lipids. That is why we say that we are constantly oxidizing, which is one of the factors of aging. In conclusion, can we know for certain if Napoleon Bonaparte was deliberately poisoned or he was poisoned by chance? Probably we never know it. This is lost to oblivion. Here we trip on a dilemma since the facts on history only can be accepted, but could not be proved. On this particular case, we had to accept what history tells us, that Napoleon Bonaparte died due to an stomach ulcer. This is the sketch which would become one of Jacques Louis Davis' masterpieces, the coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte as an emperor. Here we see Napoleon Bonaparte on such a ceremony. On this painting we could see Napoleon himself in number 1. Number 2 is his mother, who actually didn't attend the ceremony. Number 3 is Josephine. Number 4 is Pope Pius VII. And number 5 we have General Murat. Ultimately, we see the man who dominated Europe for more than a decade and whose heritage has reached modern societies.